My goodness. Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Wayne Lou. There's going to be a lot of swearing in this episode. I apologize to people who don't like swearing. You're not going to like this episode. Let's fucking go, man. What a fucking win. We needed that so badly. I apologize to my neighbors for yelling at this game, but it was so frustrating. I was ready to punch the TV at certain points. I couldn't believe the foul calls that were going one way and the other. It was such a frustrating game, let alone the fact that the Raptors, I never want to see the Raptors play the Charlotte Hornets again. I never want to see the Raptors play these referees again. I'm sick of this team. I'm sick of Con Knipple hitting every three. I'm sick of LaMelo Ball celebrating that layup like it's a game winner. Guess what? It wasn't. I'm sick of Colin Sexton and his little Return of the Jedi little braid on the side. It looks cool, but honestly, not cool when he hit the threes. I'm so sick of Musa Diabate, PJ Hall, Liam McNeely, the entire squad. And guess what? Hold this L, courtesy of Immanuel Quickley, okay? Because Quickley shut everybody up tonight by hitting the game-winning three at the buzzer to give the Raptors a 97-96 win over these goddamn Charlotte Hornets, man. You look at them on the schedule, they always pop up when the Raptors are a little bit, in a good mood, okay? The Hornets never come to you when you're on a losing streak and you're like, all right, fuck it, we'll lose again to the Hornets. No, they always got to come in when the Raptors are winning 4 or 5 and you're like, okay, things are turning around. And then all of a sudden the damn Hornets come up. And then they start out the game up 11-4. And the Raptors got to call the first time out. And the Raptors got to come back. And they got to fight. And then the Raptors lose Brandon Ingram in this game, which really sucks. Hopefully Brandon's okay. He got his thumb jammed on a play where he's been healthy all year. Of course, it's this goddamn Hornets that ended up injuring him. He gets his thumb, just tied up. Has to leave the game, doesn't come back. Scotty leaves this game at a stretch that you're like, dude, it's not enough that we got to come to the Charlotte Hornets and watch them do this whatever devil magic that they got going on. It's not enough that we lose Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram at parts of this game. Scotty was able to come back in this game finally, which was great, but, clearly he got banged up in this game given how physical it was. It's not enough that we got to see the Raptors struggle against this Hornets team, which credit to them. They fight like crazy. I give them a lot of credit in the other 3 episodes. I wasn't just, cursing them. And then on top of all that, we got to watch this absolute garbage of an officiating performance in which the game got so physical and so frustrating. I mean, yes, it didn't help that the Raptors missed 18 straight threes at one point, but whatever, you overcome that. It's still a game. It got so physical and so frustrating. I thought there was going to be a fight breaking out. Not just between me and my TV watching this thing, but between the players on the court. Because what the hell was that by the referees? But we could talk about that in a second. Let's talk about this very, very gutsy win at the end there with RJ Barrett and Immanuel Quickley leading the way. RJ making tough bucket after tough bucket, scoring, I believe, 12 points in the fourth quarter. All of them are just like having to play through 18 fouls, guys ripping, grabbing him, damn near stealing his jersey, cutting his legs, like just whatever, okay? RJ literally having to fight through like fucking jungle to get to the ground. Like it looked like the Vietnam War every time RJ was driving to the basket, okay? That's how hard it was for him to get some of these buckets, including the and one to tie after Raptors called the timeout after the Hornets took a 3-point lead. But then, of course, the Hornets went ahead with a LaMelo Ball high floating random layup. I mean, honestly, a very cool move, very good move, but still very annoying. And that left 1.6 seconds left for the Raptors to potentially come back and force overtime, or just please, I didn't want to see overtime. I just wanted to see the Raptors win, and that's what they did. They went for a 3. And honestly, credit to the Raptors, credit to Darko first off. The Raptors drew up their play. The Hornets then called timeout to be like, all right, we saw your play, haha, we're going to go defend it better now. Then the Raptors, I don't know if they changed the play or not. I'd be very curious to see if they ran the same plays for, twice over. Clearly, my mind is on Mars right now with how hot I am right now in terms of just how much like heat went into this game. But the Raptors came out of that second timeout. Scotty Barnes with a great screen to give Immanuel Quickley just a little tiny bit of separation. Mamu with the inbound pass too Quickley fading a little bit to his left. And on a night where Quickley was struggling from 3, on a season where IQ has been just the punching bag, everybody just goes after IQ. Raptors win by 18 points against the Atlanta Hawks. We have entire discourses about Immanuel Quickley after that one. Are we kidding me? 1 turnover and 16 points. and an 18-point win, it's all about IQ. This whole season has been about shitting on IQ, as if he's the only one wrong with the team, as if the whole bench hasn't been struggling, as if, RJ wasn't out for a while, and Yaka barely exists anymore, and, there's other issues that come in this team. But fine, IQ. Let's blame IQ. Blame IQ for the game-winning 3, because that was beautiful. I'm so happy, not only because the Raptors won this game, very frustrating against the Charlotte Hornets, but I'm happy it was IQ who did it, because I think for him, obviously, you're always going to celebrate, any game winner. But to see the way the teammates mobbed him, you could tell the relief on his face, how sheepish he was after the game, doing the walk-off interview with Kayla, of TSN. And Kayla Gray's asking him, usually you say call 5. He's like, you know what? I'm being humble in this moment. I'm not calling 5. I'm calling God. Because that's what he felt like he needed to get a shot to go in for him. Not just tonight, but for this whole damn season. And I'm so happy for Quickley. So happy for Quickley that he was able to come out here and do that. Because all we have talked about, and obviously I'm putting myself into this too, all we've talked about is, can we get another point guard? Can we get another point guard? You don't think players hear that? You don't think everyone else hears that? And that's fine. That's why they get paid the big bucks. And I get people have issues with the contract. But you know what? My whole thing was, let's just treat him like everyone else. If a good game, we celebrate him. Bad game, we critique him. No neutral game, we ignore him, right? But it has not been about that. It's been about everything else. I hope this is a turnaround for IQ in this season, man, because it has been frustrating. It was frustrating in this game, watching him miss threes. During that stretch when the Raptors went 0 of 18 from 3, IQ definitely missed a whole bunch in there as well. But, man, to see him come up big in several moments in the second half, he led one of the first comebacks with a bunch of drives to the basket. You saw him trying to diversify his game. You saw him obviously, still have the confidence to knock down that 3. You see the coaching staff to still have the confidence to say, after this timeout, and you're struggling all night, even on a night when you're struggling, we're still going to give you the ball for that shot. That's got to feel good for the entire team. And I look forward to, just how he responds from this. He's not a perfect player, but man, has he been a punching bag all season. And for that reason, I'm so happy we hit that 3. But before that IQ 3, the scoring by RJ in the fourth quarter, I mean, man, just gutsy, tough. What the tougher the game, the uglier it gets, I feel like the more it benefits RJ. First 3 quarters, actually no, first half, I would just say first half, because first 3 quarters is maybe a little too much. First half, RJ was not there. Like, just, he was missing shots, he was smoking layups, he was missing threes as part of everyone else missing threes. Like, it was just a frustrating game to see from RJ in that stretch. And how much the Hornets want to constrict the paint and lock down. And of course they're going to grab you, arm bar. I didn't realize fucking 80s or 90s basketball was back. I mean? They officiate this team like they're the freaking, like, blood in the garden Knicks. But, like, you see the way that it was difficult. Well, this is what, honestly, I look ahead, I'm going to thank the Hornets, because when I calm down, I'm going to think about what the playoffs might look like. This is kind of a playoff-like whistle. And of course, the playoffs won't include the Hornets, because the Hornets never make the playoffs. But other teams will be playing like this. And when it gets really tough, that's when I really prioritize and love and appreciate RJ. Because RJ says, you know what? You want to overplay me. You want to bump me. You want to cut me off. You want to take away one thing from me. You want to hide a defender. Bring him up here. Where's Knippel at? I'm sure, RJ, being a lifelong Duke guy, has probably played against Con in practices, going down to to Duke to play against these guys last year. I'm sure he's got some level of familiarity with the guy. And you know what? Con, give him credit, because the first 3 games against the Raptors, this guy killed it, man. He absolutely killed it, right? He literally hit the game winner, or the game tying 3 to force an OT in the one game the Raptors should have for sure beaten the Hornets. They blew the 12-point lead. They went scoreless for like 5 minutes at the end there, and that snapped the Raptors' 9-game winning streak, right? You remember that game. Knippel hit the 3 in that one. Con's been awesome in that one. Well, this one, RJ's like, where the hell is that guy at? Bring him up here. He's a rookie with a headband. I'm going to drive at him, and I'm going to get to my spots, and it doesn't matter if I got to, plow through the entire defense and ignore all these fouls. I'm going to get my little push shot. I'm going to get my little turnaround jumper. I'm going to get to the basket. I'm going to go left. I'm going to go right. I'm going to hit the free throw when I need to with the and one to tie the game. That was beautiful, man. And that's the thing. RJ is a gutsy scorer, man. This game could have been over in the fourth quarter. This game probably should have been over when the Raptors missed 18 straight threes. The Hornets didn't have enough offense to pull away. I credit the Raptors as a group for playing defense. I credit the Raptors bench unit for keeping them in it in the stretches where, it looked like there was no life. I mean, a 10-point lead in the NBA feels like nothing. Against the Hornets, it feels like you're down 40. especially against the, when you never get a foul call and you can't hit a three either. You're just fighting for anything. And the bench brought him back the first time. But when the Hornets went up again, RJ brought him back in the fourth quarter, and he just like single-handedly carried the offense in the fourth quarter. He finishes with a game-high 28 points, 12 of 25 from the field, only made 1 3, but just incredible. And again, I cannot stress how little space there was in this game. Not only because the Raptors couldn't hit the threes, but because of how much the Hornets were able to, cramp the paint, grab, hold, bump. I mean, just nonstop. Like it was like a wrestling match out there. It was like the Royal Rumble, and RJ Barrett said, "I'll take on all comers" at the end and finish strong before IQ obviously knocked out the final opponent. That was beautiful to see. Honestly, salute to Darko too, because this is a huge win for Darko. Not only for drawing up that game-winning three for IQ, getting his best shooter coming off a screen to receive it, and then of course make the shot. That's great execution. IQ was asked about, that play design, and he's like, that's exactly that's the exact shot Darko had drawn on the board, and that's exactly what the Raptors got. That was beautiful. But you know what? Not just that. Man, Darko took his clipboard, took that little piece of paper with all the notes today, and he just threw that shit away. Like it was like the Jimmy Butler, gif on the bench where he crumps off the paper. Because you know what? Sometimes you get in this kind of game, your game plan, that doesn't matter. Because what the Hornets did tonight and what the Hornets have done to the Raptors has just been like the ultimate stumbling block. And that's crazy to say that about the Hornets, who have won 12 games this year or whatever. You know what I mean? But that's just what they have been. Sometimes matchups are there. And the Hornets have been such a hard matchup. All 4 games against the Hornets, one of them was a blowout. But the other 3 were just like fight to the death type of games. And tonight was probably the most intense. And therefore also the most satisfying. I would say even more satisfying than the last one where Scottie and Brandon both got the blocks at the end there. This game was even more physical than that. And I credit Darko because he just said, forget it. Forget my little playbook, okay? I don't forget my little rotations. Who's supposed to come here? Who's supposed to come there? Obviously, losing Brandon, it's a huge part of your team. It's going to change a lot for your team. But Darko was just like, shit's not working. So how am I going to do? How am I going to go through this thing? There was a stretch there. And, if I were going to go with the TSN turning point, Raptors were down 9 points. And again, 9 points in this game, contextually, felt like being down 27 points, okay? Raptors are down 9 points with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. They had come out the blocks slow after halftime. The Hornets made a couple of threes. And again, the Raptors couldn't score at all. IQ and RJ both struggling like a lot at this point. Brandon's been ruled out for the game. And Scottie looks like he just took a bump. And so Darko went with an all-bench lineup at this point. Now, granted, you might say, well, because of the injuries and guys struggling, what's the big deal about an all-bench lineup? A couple of things, more context. The bench was being outscored. I believe they flashed the graphic. It was like 26-5 at this point. Okay, Charlotte's bench has been killing the Raptors. Whether it was McNeely off their bench or who the hell even comes like Sexton, Salon, PJ Hall. Nobody should know the Hornets roster this intimately. Okay, but as Raptor fans, we've had the great displeasure of getting tortured by all these names that I just mentioned. So again, the Raptors bench was getting outscored 26-5. They had 5 total bench points when he put in an all 5 players bench lineup. And the lineup was Jamal, it was Ochai, Grady, Jamison Battle, and Sandro Mamukelashvili. Basically, it's like, as far as like lineups go, that's probably I don't think they've definitely not used that lineup at all this season. And it's also a situation where the game, it looked like you're almost throwing in the towel. In fact, I was like, right now we're going to go to the all bench lineup. But credit to Darko, because that all-bench lineup out of nowhere, against all odds, started to cook and gave the Raptors life. And all of a sudden, the Raptors could score again. And, it was a 3 made by Mamu. That was the 3 that snapped an 18 straight misses from 3. I mean, this is not exactly, the Houston Rockets missing 27 straight threes against the Warriors, in the conference finals. But I mean, I can't even imagine what that would have felt like as a Rockets fan. I might have just stopped. I might have just quit my career at that point if I were covering the Rockets, seeing that. But 18 straight threes. Finally, Mamu makes one, and it's from deep too. Like it was at least 28 feet, like a couple steps behind the 3-point line. Then Jamal gets a transition layup. Nice little. Again, everything was super hard fought for. Mamu Euro steps in the lane, drops it off the battle. Ochai gets in there for a little putback. And all of a sudden, the Raptors cut it to 1 point and they force a timeout from Charlotte. And it was like, wow, that right there was the TSN turning point because the Hornets should have killed us right there. Absolutely should have killed us. And I know the Hornets had their bench in as well, but they should have killed us right there because the bench for the Raptors was absolutely dead. Instead, the Raptors started to fight even harder. And that's where the frustration started building into. You started to see Mamu getting upset, Jamal getting upset. These are guys with like very level-headed, they're gentle, personalities, right? Jamal's a very gentle personality. Mamu the same way. Like, to see these guys like look like enraged and their eyes are bulging out because they can't believe what Jenna Schroeder is calling on the other end, it is just like, it's a real sign of just how frustrating this game was. But you know what? Credit to them because when I wanted to fight the TV, they actually fought back and cut it to a 1-point game. Now, granted, Charlotte was able to push the lead again and reestablish a couple things, but more than anything else, the Raptors were able to, just hang in there and respond, and it gave them a bit of life. And then the fourth quarter rolled around, and that's where RJ, IQ had to sort of be in there for the whole time. And the scoring by those two in particular, because there was nothing else, right? Maybe occasional Mamu put back here or there. Mamu's largely there for spacing. I mean, he hit the 3 to snap the run, but, that was the 1-3 he hit. They just needed, like, any sort of life. And Jamal could be out there, too. Like, Jamal was just, like, straight up fighting guys as well. Also, guys flopping, too. Like, Jamal tried to run through a screen against, like, a guy who's, like, 250 pounds. And the guy just, like, falls over, and they call the foul. Like, get out of here, man. And that damn near fouled out, that almost fouled out Jamal as well. That was his 5th foul. At the time, it felt like it was a 6th because the broadcast accidentally saw it as the 6th foul, and it looked like we were going to lose Jamal on some bullshit. But, like, it was just hand-to-hand combat. And on the defensive end, man, I credit the Raptors so hard, man. Colin Murray-Boyles, for a guy who only made 1 bucket tonight, we lose this game by 30 without Colin Murray-Boyles. Because for a 6'6" small ball center who isn't even a center, playing as a rookie, this guy was in there like a man possessed, fighting for every rebound. 15 rebounds for him tonight. 15 for a man who's 6'6", against like a big front court, physical. Musa Diabate is like freaking Bismack Biyombo from 2016 for the Raptors. If you guys know what that felt like for us in a positive way, that's what wow. I mean, like he was so physical. PJ Hall is just like this it's basically like a gigantic lumberjack. Like, he's just moving guys around as well. Colin is like fighting for his life out there, man. And the amount of possessions he secured, little tap outs, little contests that he did too. I mean, he had turn stopping Con, he had turn stopping, LaMelo. Like, just such a gutsy performance from the rookie tonight. And I'm sure he's tired. I'm sure he's bruised. I'm sure he could probably dump his whole body in a cryo chamber right now just to preserve how much damage he took. But he stood in there like a champ, man. And you know what? That's what the chat is saying. Yeah, he lifts. That's what he said after the game the other night. They were asking him like, yo, are you getting tired? And he's like, nah, man, I lift. Like, he was just a boulder. And he was crushing the Hornets. And honestly, the last couple of games, right? And I know when the Raptors lost to the Hornets, the last time that was in Scotiabank Arena, Raptors lost to the Hornets. They lost by like 25, 26 points. And I hated watching that game because I was like, Raptors getting pushed around. Yes, they were missing threes. Yes, like things weren't going their way. Just like tonight, the Hornets certainly know how to frustrate a team, especially like the Raptors. But the issue that I had with that game was the Raptors got pushed around and the Raptors never pushed back. And this game, it looked like they're going to do it again. And I watched it. The more I watched it, Colin Murray-Boyles single-handedly pushing back. Jamal Shed pushing back. Yeah, he took some frustration fouls. Mamu pushing back. You know what? Get mad. Get angry. Fight them. Yes, it's the Hornets. Yes, it shouldn't be this hard to beat the Hornets. But this is what the league is. Like, teams have lots of talent. You lose Brandon. You lose Scotty for a big portion of this game. You don't have as much talent as you thought. You had just enough with RJ and IQ still carrying the offense for you in a time when, again, those guys were so bad to start the game, but they finished so strong. But still, like, you got to hustle. You got to fight, man. You got to fight for everything, especially against a team like the Hornets who feel like they have your number. And that's what I like to see. These guys getting mad, these guys getting angry, and pushing right back. And you know what? The guys who didn't push back tonight, those are the guys that look sideways at. Grady, Jacoby, getting pushed around, Ochai, floating around out there. Those are the guys I'm like, you know what? I'm curious because there was a fight out there and you didn't join the scrum. I saw Mamu join the scrum. I saw CMB in the scrum. CMB was the scrum. That's what I needed to see. And of course, the stubbornness by RJ, right? In a game where he was struggling, you would never know he was struggling because all this man did was shoot in the fourth quarter like he was Kobe, and he was leading the whole comeback. Like that's the mentality I love to see from these guys. These guys were fucking dogs tonight, man. And that's the reason we pulled out this game. And of course, yes, we needed a big shot at the end by IQ, and I'm so happy he made it once again. But you're not even in that position unless you fought back against this team. You actually traded some blows. And you know what? On a game where everyone was so frustrated, I credit the fact that they were level-headed because I could never have done this, what they did tonight. I would have been losing my mind. I'm losing my mind just watching this game and talking about it on a recap with you guys. Like, if I was playing this game, like, you know how easy it would have been to lose your mind at the referees, pick up some texts, maybe you got ejected, Darko crash out. He hasn't done one yet this year. He could have done one tonight. Would have been totally warranted. We would have had 100% approval rating, 100% tomato certified fresh for Darko in this letterbox crash out. We would have had everybody behind him for this. Not a single technical foul on the Raptors, despite how frustrating it was, despite RJ making buckets and literally turning around and yelling at the referees as like you would think that he'd be like chirping the other team. No, he's chirping the refs, man. He's like, you're not going to call that? You're not going to call this? Like, for that level of discipline, to fight and walk up to the line but not step over it, that was beautiful. Because again, you pick up one or two techs in this game, one more extra free throw here or there, we might be in overtime, we might have lost the game. So all around, so happy, man. So happy with how this game ultimately ended up. So happy with the fact that we don't have to see the Charlotte Hornets ever again this season. I am so tired of this team. Congratulations to you guys. You guys saved your best for Toronto and OKC. I don't know what you have against Canada, okay? But like that's what this team is. Well, you know what? There's something there. It's promising. If they play this hard every night, they wouldn't be 10 games under 500 or whatever the hell they are. Like, just, I'm just happy we'll not have to see them again because Raptors have played them 4 times already. Please just stop. I'm good on seeing any of these guys, and I'm good honestly on seeing the referees too, man. Super pissed watching this game. Just unobligatory their names are, but Brent Barnaky, Scott Tardowski, and Jenna Schroeder. And man, I gotta say, Jenna Schroeder was drawing the bulk of the ire from the Raptors' frustrations. In terms of foul calls, she might have called 20 fouls on the Raptors and 5 on the Hornets. So, I'm gonna try to calm down, drink a little water, make a little chill choice. It's a good one, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in here. We'll take some of your questions after we hear from our sponsor.
This segment is presented by Table Fare and Social. Get your pregame bites and after-work drinks at Table. It's at a great location right across the street from Scotiabank Arena and just steps away from Union Station and the Metrolinx bus terminal. Will, what are we having at Table Fare and Social?
Well, they got one of our favorites in the city, Alouette.
Ooh.
And of course, Alouette. Incredible food.
The wedge salad?
The wedge salad, exactly. Imagine you're about to watch a Raptors game, you're about to watch a Leafs game, you're about to catch a concert at Scotiabank, and beforehand, we get together, get a couple of drinks at Alouette, get that salad. We're ready for anything, man.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of options at Table Fare and Social. This is your go-to spot. Next time you're off to a game, check out Table Fare and Social, a downtown food hall right across from the arena for some great pregame bites and drinks.
Okay. All right. I had a little drink of water. Trying to cool down, trying to calm down a little bit. It's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard. I would have picked up 26 techs in this game if I were Darko coaching the team. All right, let's get to some of your comments. I appreciate you guys for leaving me in the chat. Again, huge effort here by Karem to sort of corral the chat. Actually, before we get to it, we had some breaking news. Of course, this happened just after the end of the game, I believe. But breaking news, courtesy of Shams Charania, the Atlanta Hawks are trading 4-time All-Star Trae Young to the Washington Wizards for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. Sources tell ESPN the trade ends Young's stint as the face of the Hawks and sends the 27-year-old to the preferred destination in the nation's capital. Top Washington officials Michael Ringer and Will Dawkins have searched to anchor their young talent to the next step of the team's development. Yeah, a lot of excitement, obviously, with Trae Young. He's been the big name. Obviously, him being in Toronto for the last 2 games, with the Raptors posting the Hornets over the weekend, like there was definitely a lot of talk there. We talked a lot about, do the Raptors want Trae Young? Do you want to do this or that? Ultimately, it seemed like the Wizards were immediately the team that were the ones that were most strongly associated with Trae Young. Credit to Mark Stein of the Stein line, who immediately put out the report after it was made clear by it was publicly put out there that Trae and the Hawks were headed for a split. It was Stein who had the first report that it was going to be Washington that was going to get him. But yeah, I mean, it's just a straight up swap. It's actually kind of unbelievable to look at it, because I know Trae Young's stock has fallen a lot, and you might have some concerns over his next contract. Obviously, he's got a player option next year, so he could opt out of it, and we'll see sort of what they ultimately sign for. But the fact that this was basically a straight up salary dump, like no picks so far reported in this, to my knowledge, looks like it's just CJ McCollum, who's expiring contract, and Corey Kispert, who's yet another Kyle Korver clone for Kyle Korver to manage in Atlanta. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? And this is a guy who's, again, like a 4-time All-Star, and certainly still, when he's like focused and available, still a very lethal offensive player. Like, we're talking about a guy who has led the league in assists, and who routinely scores 20. Like, it's easy for him, right? So the fact that his value dropped this low is kind of incredible. This is almost lower. This actually is lower value than what the Raptors traded for Brandon Ingram, because the Raptors traded Bruce Brown, who was expiring contract, so in this case the same as CJ McCollum, and then they traded Kelly Olynyk, who did have one more year left on his deal, to be fair, but I mean, whatever. It wasn't much money. And then they traded, obviously, a first round pick that wasn't theirs. That was Indiana's pick. Like, they didn't even get a first in this one. And Trae Young, say what you want, but like, he might actually have a better pedigree than what Brandon has. So regardless, like, it's I don't know. For Washington, I know they have lots of young players. They don't have a lot of salaries on their books. So basically, you could add Trae Young. You can be one of the few teams that have the money to pay him, not be in any sort of financial trouble. I think they might have more cap space after that. This is a really young team that has been growing, and I'm curious what this says about some of their young guards, because they do have a lot of guards, but ultimately none of those guards were supposed to be the ones that are primary playmakers. When you're talking about like Keyshawn George, or you're talking about even Bub Carrington, or I don't know, Trey Johnson, like these guys are more off ball, like maybe second side attackers and stuff like that. And I'm sure they'll have to sort of figure out how they balance out all of those, because they already have a ton of guards. But yeah, I mean, Trae Young's a definite upgrade over all of that. And honestly, I know like some of this is also just like, okay, you got to a certain point where you want to go somewhere where you're wanted, and Trae Young basically wasn't wanted anymore with Atlanta. They had hit their ceiling. Atlanta wants to go in this other direction. I mean, I'm sure they'll be in the play-in regardless, but I'm sure there is like definitely a financial component to this, but you got to appreciate how few instances in history that a star player has actually wanted to go to the Washington Wizards. Like, people are obviously going to point to MJ. I mean, they gave MJ a share of ownership. Okay. So like, that's what kind of brought him back. And that was old MJ as well. But like, yeah, like I honestly struggle to remember the last like all-star who wanted to go to Washington, right? Like Bradley Beal, John Wall, those guys were drafted there. Who else have they even had? I guess Gilbert Arenas, right? But it was, regardless, like, say what you want, but I'm actually really happy for both Trae and Washington. Two unwanted parties finally finding each other and paying each other $50 million eventually to sort of get themselves a chance to sort of like collaborate. I'm happy for him. Ultimately, the Raptors didn't get him. I'm curious to see if anyone was like disappointed that the Raptors didn't meet this price. Again, the issue with the Raptors making a trade like this is the Raptors didn't have expiring salaries, right? So, yes, you could have thrown in like RJ if you wanted to, but like, I mean, first off, I don't know, like your IQ and like Trae could not play together. So I felt like you need to put IQ in this trade, but then IQ also has like 3 more years on his contract, right? So it's just the type of deal the Raptors couldn't fully execute, especially considering the fact that Atlanta looked like they prioritize expiring money. This is straight up a dump, right? They just dumped Trae Young. But Trae Young instantly bounces back. Seeing CJ McCollum in the Hawks jersey is hilarious. I don't know, it's just cracking me up so much to see CJ in this jersey. Yeah, he's living out the consequences of that CBA he signed. So I mean, he's still solid. He still has some good games here or there. He's not bad. I mean, I think for Atlanta, like, they could actually use him. He'll still be in the rotation. But I guess that ends the Trae Young saga, and I'm curious to see sort of what the next contract is. It looks like most of the news today was that Anthony Davis is sort of the next big target, and there is some mutual. Well, it looks like this is the latest report from Sam Amick of The Athletic. We touched on it earlier today as well, but he reported that Anthony Davis is interested and is open to a trade to either the Charlotte or to either the Atlanta Hawks or the Toronto Raptors. Obviously, with the fact that Atlanta just made their move here, I'm curious to see if this kind of ends it or if they're still interested in AD. Certainly, if you thought they were going to get AD and trade Trae Young, maybe make that a 3-way trade. But ultimately, I believe now that they've added CJ in this individual deal, unless they sort of like make another deal and spin it all together, if they're separate transactions, I don't think they can use CJ as outgoing money in a 3-way trade, after this, right? So I do think that like this may potentially take them out of the AD race. Maybe their priority was just to get off of Trae, but we'll have to see. Again, obviously, a lot of things are fluid right now, and I just spent most of the last day watching the Raptors play a death match against the Charlotte Hornets. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, if the Hawks are out of it, then obviously that probably makes it a little bit better of a situation for the Raptors if they do want to pursue the AD trade. But again, like a lot of difficult and tricky things would have to factor in to said trade for Anthony Davis if the Raptors were to even make one there. His contract's even bigger, so you're looking to probably, it's probably got to be like Jakob for sure, and then probably one of IQ or RJ. If I were the Dallas Mavericks, I'd probably want RJ, considering the fact that his contract's shorter. But you'd have to go from there. That would be a major trade, like just a huge trade that would really shuffle up the entire group and force the Raptors to like have to make subsequent trades to sort of fill out their backcourt because they'd be really short on that front, especially scoring wise. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, and who knows? Maybe Atlanta does ultimately find another way to get AD as well. I just figured, like, if you were gonna trade out Trae Young and get AD, wouldn't you want to make that just one single transaction instead of having to make two, separate moves? I don't know. I'm just really curious in terms of the timing of this. Also, these days when news is reported in this way, like, sometimes it's like these trades break in pieces, and then eventually when it's called up to the league office, it's officially a 3-team trade, but it's reported first as this one interaction. So we'll have to see. Again, this is a very fluid situation. It just happened, right? So, okay, let's take some of your questions. I appreciate you guys for sending in money. We got foreign funds, man. What is this, euros? Yeah, from Ian. Sends in $12 or 12 euros. Now that's a game worth being awake for between 1 and 3:30 a.m. The Raptors are fighters. Let's go from the island of Malta in Europe. Wow. Damn, we got people listening from Malta. This is incredible, man. I don't know if you're on vacation or if you're just, what are people from Malta called? Maltesers? Are they Maltesers? Anyway, salute to you. Thank you for staying up to watch this. This is very, very cool to see. The Raptors having support from all around the world, and a hell of a game to stay up for. Because I don't know, man. Maybe I hope you didn't wake up anybody at 1 a.m. in Malta. I hope you didn't wake up the entire island by how excited you were with the win at the end. Because certainly I might have to do some apologies for the neighbors. Late to class sends in $5. Late to class, you got money like that? Late to class, you're here every day. Okay, all right. Late to class putting in $5. IQ hitting this game winner tonight as Trae Young gets traded. Absolute cinema. Shout out to all the pods this season, by the way. Yo, thank you, man. Thank you for this. Thank you for being in all the live shows and putting a lot of engagement in videos and stuff. It's funny how that works. You know what I mean? It's funny how that works. And look, I'm not saying that IQ doesn't deserve questioning or you can't be dissatisfied. I mean, certainly there's been a lot of dissatisfaction with how he's played, and there is an expectation based on the contract, and also like even just going back, like the decision to sort of commit to him as a long-term point guard and trading at OG. Like, I'm not saying that like there's no room to be like, hey man, I have expectations for this. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to say that like it got to the point where it felt like people were just like pointing at IQ no matter what. Like it really became clear to me after that Hornets game. It was like, or that Hawks game. It was like, okay, Raptors beat the Hawks by 18. Raptors just beat the Hawks twice. And one of the big talking points for everyone after the game, or for a lot of people after the game, was like, well, IQ got benched. And I'm like, so the Raptors won by 18 points. He had a decent game. It wasn't exceptional. It was a very average game. Yes, he had that turnover on the baseline. Part of the reason for that was Jacoby needed to move on the baseline to give him a better pass, a better angle for the pass. IQ obviously was at fault for leaving his feet on the baseline, leaving him no choice but to pass. But like that didn't change anything in the game. Jamal comes out to close out the last 4 minutes. It's not like, yes, it's like on a night where it's like, okay, it's questionable, whatever. But like I said, like we just gotta try to be fair to people. You know what I mean? Like it's starting to feel like how people were treating RJ when he first came over from the Knicks. It was just like people just had their minds made up on him immediately. Like, okay, this guy sucks, and I'm only gonna look at reasons why he sucks, and I'm gonna keep complaining that he sucks. I mean, it's like it just didn't really feel like we're just taking things at face value. You know what I mean? Like obviously there are things that are like I always say, like if a guy has a bad game, we talk about where he went wrong or what went bad. Guys, a good game, we celebrate them. We talk about sort of what went well for them. If they have a neutral game, in nondescript game, we mostly ignore them, or we just sort of mention in passing what happened without passing judgment. But it felt like there was no more neutral. Like it was just like this. He became like 80% negative, and like whatever. Like I'm not saying that like you have to commit to IQ long term as the future. It's not to say that like his contract is all of a sudden justified or that there's no reason for the critics, but like he just became like a target. Like I think the phrase I used last episode was he just became overhated. Like what's the point? And honestly, like what's the point of picking on anybody after like a 18-point win? Like, and yeah, like we would love to see him play better. The thing is, like, if you were to look at it and again just at face value, IQ's had a decent track record in the league, right? It's not like he's like a first, second year player. You don't know what you're gonna get, but you've seen him play in the league a long time. One thing you know from him is that he's a really good 3-point shooter, and obviously hit the three tonight to win it. But it's like obviously he's underperforming on the threes, and maybe his role isn't like perfectly suited to maximize his skill set. But like we can all see that like he's a good player who's like underperformed at his level so far. What you should take away from that isn't just like, I hate this guy. It should just be like, well, hold on. When the shot starts dropping again, it's going to really start influencing good results for the Raptors. And it's not unreasonable to expect a career good shooter to shoot his regular averages. So like it just, anyway, whatever. I just think that like it kind of, the conversation just swung like way, way, way too much. And I just like, it didn't really feel like even fair to a certain degree, man. Like, so anyway, I'm happy for IQ as well. Yeah, we have IQ haters on nap time. Don't worry, I mean, it'll happen the next time he has a bad game or next turnover. And that's the thing. Like, I don't like when people like, I know this is kind of in jest, but what I'm saying is just like, I don't like when people are like entrenched in camps. It's not a good idea to just be like, I'm here and I'm going to echo and parrot and support everything of my position, and I'm going to try to reject everything that conflicts my position, right? It doesn't feel like, it's not fair, really, especially because these are real human beings that we're talking about. But like, it just also doesn't feel fair in the sense of like what like fairness in the sense of justice. You know what I mean? Like it's, you should take things at their face value, and obviously their past track record factors in. But like, there's no need to be like, I'm an IQ hater, I'm an IQ lover. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, you're just a fan of the Raptors, and you want players on the team to do well. And if they're not doing well, you would likely to see them improve or to see them like switch out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, let's just I don't know, man. It's just, yeah. I mean, I don't like being in any camp. Like, the only camp I'm in is like on the Raptors, man. Like, so, yeah. I hope the BI injury is nothing serious. Yeah, that's probably definitely the one thing that I'm looking at. Just like, that really hurts me in this game. So the play that happened was Brandon was defending Khan Knipple, and his like the arm that was like against Khan, like I guess kind of like pinched his thumb, And so he went to the bench afterwards. It like didn't have to. He didn't leave the game immediately. Like the next stoppage, he came out the game, and the trainer looked at it on the bench, and then eventually like went to the locker room and it was ruled out. X-rays were negative, but again, like that's. I mean, that all that rules out is a break, a significant break, I believe. I think even micro breaks, you can still escape the X-ray. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, clearly, but like yeah, I mean, it was diagnosed as a thumb sprain. So I looked it up, and it was just like. I think obviously there's different degrees of spraining your thumb. You know, I can only imagine if you bend it back really, really far, you're gonna sprain it a lot harder than just what happened with Brandon, which didn't look too bad. It wasn't like whatever, right? But even then, it said like I think grade 1 was like two weeks. So we'll see. I'm sure that there's different ways that the Raptors can try to manage it. I know right at this time too, the Raptors obviously have a pretty difficult stretch of the schedule coming up, and not insignificant, but there's also an All-Star push to be made. So I'm sure they'll do everything possible to sort of make Brandon available. The one thing I'll be so sad for Brandon if he does miss time is just the amount of pride and effort he's put into being available at every game. Like that's been the biggest knock on Brandon is like, okay, like he's been labeled as injury prone, and that's the one thing people say about you. And honestly, like people don't watch in that great depth, right? Like even before the Raptors got Brandon Ingram, it's not like we knew Brandon Ingram to this degree, right? We didn't know who he was. We didn't know that, we knew some relative like smaller general points. And one of the general points, and probably the biggest one when the Raptors traded for him was, well, the guy, is injury prone, right? I remember the pushback against the trade at that time was like, he's injury prone, he's going to need the ball a lot, and does he fit into what the Raptors want to do? And you think back to it, and especially now that we've seen like 3-4 months of Brandon in the Raptors, you're like, okay, well, first off, injury prone is just like a relative thing. It's not like he's had one injury that they just keep having to manage and he keeps missing time. I mean, that's like a Jakob's back right now. I would say that's more injury prone, but like, he's been available. And the other thing is like, he's fit in nicely. Like he doesn't need the ball. In fact, this season, he's mostly played without the ball and coming off screens and catching and shooting and stuff like that. And he's fit in nicely with the Raptors in the sense that like the Raptors didn't have a guy to do what Brandon does, right? So my whole point is just like you think you know a guy, but you don't necessarily know a guy. But the issue is one of the reputational points was that he was injury prone, and like he's like put in so much effort to rehab his foot. Like you even see him like in between timeouts and stoppages in play, like when he's on the bench, like him and the trainer will just have the resistance bands going to like keep flexing and keep working at it, like and he's been available so much to the point where at one point he was leading the league in minutes played. Not in terms of minutes per game, like he only plays 34 a game, which is normal, but he's been healthy for every game. So I would hate to see him miss time. Not only the fact that the Raptors really need him to be available and to score and to just, clearly they need him, but nevertheless, like hopefully it's not too long and hopefully it's not too serious, man. Brandon has been such a pleasure to watch. Yeah, RJ went supernova, man. I mean, man, that's the thing with RJ. Like he's not afraid of the game. And now granted, like whatever, like afraid of the game. Like we're talking about like freaking Raptors Hornets in January, right? I can catch myself and say like, for what reason should anybody be afraid of a game like this? But with how tough and how unfortunate the game was, like I thought that it was significant to me that he never gave up on the team and he just kept going. And it was again like really frustrating for most of it. RJ was very frustrated for most of it as well. He started off poorly. He started off like not making shots, but down the stretch, man, like and like I mean, even I criticized him in terms of just like, okay, that Denver game, he took I believe a step back three to try to force, OT at one point, and I was like, I don't think that's the shot for him. But like, I mean, how could you ever say that to a guy like RJ? Number one, he's confident in himself. Number two, like he's got the stubbornness to keep going, man. A lot of guys who like would shy away from that moment, like, okay, it's not my night and it's not my responsibility. It's not RJ's responsibility to pick up the entire team, but with Brandon out, with Scotty out, he put the team on his back and he drove in there and he attacked through contact and he was so physical and so forceful. Didn't get the foul call, kept playing harder. Like, I respect that a ton, man. Like, it's, like you always say this and it feels like a cliche, but sometimes you also see what it means. Like it should mean something. It should really matter to play for the Raptors. you know, I mean, in general, what you do for your work, you should take a great pride in it. You know, like no matter how significant and how many people enjoy it. Like I try to give you the best episode every time. You know, if that's entertainment, if that's passion, if that's information, if that's reporting, if that's interviewing. Like I try to do that. I'm available every game. You know, like, and that's just for something as significant as a show. You know, if you're freaking sweeping snow out there and shoveling snow, like you try to make sure the roads are safe for people to drive on and the sidewalks are accessible for people. And if you know, are you work in service, you try to make sure that people's orders are filled and they get the right food and you know it's all cooked properly. Like whatever job you do, like just take some real pride in it, man. And I see for RJ, like this guy is such a professional, man. And like this game again, like anyone could have given up on this shit, man. And he was there and he matched the intensity. And that's why I feel confident about how RJ might play in a playoff scenario. Because like I know the players are gonna have lots of games where it's gonna be tough like this. And RJ, I know this guy to be a tough guy, man. The way he plays is tough, like the physical nature of it. But even his mentality, like there's nothing questioning about this mentality. Like all he's ever wanted in his entire life was to play for the Raptors in this big moment. And you know, I'm happy for him that he was able to do the what he did, man. I know we talked trades and stuff like that, and we were always like, well, we got to put this guy in for this money. Man, I'd be heartbroken today if the Raptors move RJ, man. And if we move RJ, we better get a damn good player back. You know what I mean? So, wow, we got a lot of money here. So let's get to more of the money. Next question here. Who sent in $2? What would Chrissy do? You know, this is a great. Okay, I don't understand. Why is the Chrissy with the neck broken avatar? I believe this is season 1 after Junior sends like the who was it? I think it was like the Russians to like scare him or whatever. But yeah, they like did the mock execution and he hurts his neck. But I don't know why that picture of Chrissy is so iconic, man. Like everyone has this picture of Christopher. Like you see it like just walking around. But anyway, they sent in $2. Will, we haven't won in Boston since Scott's second NBA game. Wow, that is incredible. Yes, that is one of my favorite games ever from Scotty Barnes, and I don't think no matter how he plays, I don't think that would ever clear it for me in terms of like that being a top 5 game for me, because that game for Scotty, that was his second ever NBA game. He was a rookie. He was starting in place of Pascal, who was injured to start that season. They were going on the road to Boston, who were like predicted to be like a great team. I mean, honestly, Boston is a great team most times. Raptors go into Boston. They just got blown out on their home opener at home by like 30 points. Delano Benta hits like a huge 3 to cut the lead to 42, Chris Paul style. Goran Dragic is playing for the Raptors. He started for the Raptors that game. I don't know what that was about. But the Raptors head into Boston for the second game, and young Scotty Barnes, who no one knows anything about yet, is just out there like just a beast, like getting on the glass, hitting jumpers, leading the fast break, finishing layups in transition, you know, like just blocking shots. Like he was doing a lot, and that was against a good Celtics front court too. Like they had Time Lord, they had Al Horford, like they had lots of obviously wing defenders with Tatum and Brown, Marcus Smart, and yeah, Scotty went in there and I think he had like 25 and 12, I believe, and it was just like just he announced himself, you know, in the way that it's like, oh, okay, we got something here. And it gave confidence to like just the rest of his career. I felt like, I mean, not only for like him, which I'm sure he was always confident in himself, knowing that he could do that and be great, but like it gave us confidence of like, oh shit, this is what we got. Like, damn, okay, that was nice. Yeah, he had 25 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 11 of 17 shooting. The Raptors won that game 115-83. And I remember the Celtics fans were booing the team off the court. I believe that was their season opener. They booed the team off the court, and it was because of Scotty Barnes. And I was just like, this is the start of something really special, man. And that was really great to see. We also have Tyler Mackey sending in the $7. Sorry, I actually unstarred somebody who did send in money as well. So, Karem, can you go find the other one? It was like, I think someone sent in $2, so I want to make sure we get to that as well. But Tyler sends in $7. Just bro, Tyler, how do you got $7 every day for the pod? I love this, man. How was the game? Wasn't able to watch it. Just got off work. Saw IQ's game winner. How can I describe the game in 2 sentences? One, Raptors missed 19 straight threes, and the referees weren't calling anything. And number 2, Raptors make a gritty comeback, and IQ hits a dagger 3 to save the game and also his own reputation. Like, very, very satisfying. 10 out of 10. You know, it's one of those like it's like Get Out. You were just like tight and frustrated the whole time watching it, and then you're hooting and hollering at the end when the ending goes in their way. Yeah. Oh, this is the $2 from Jimmy. Jeremy Lamb revenge shot. If you know, you know. Yeah. Well, I mean, shit. If it was a Jeremy Lamb revenge shot, we owe them 2, no? Because they just hit 2 of these on us, man. He just hit 2 of these on us, man. Like I was, yeah, that was very satisfying. Yeah, Jeremy Lamb, man. Again, just the Hornets. You don't understand the Hornets. Gerald Henderson hit some games against us. Like Jeremy Lin had some huge games against us. Freaking Kemba Walker had a game winner. I remember going to that as a fan and sitting in the 300s and watching that one. This is like probably 2014 or 2015. Like, and it's always some ugly game like 97-96, you know, like no pizza for you, and just straight up a dagger at the end of a very frustrating game. Like the Hornets they exist to thwart the Raptors. Like they are our greatest rivals, man. I'm not kidding. In terms of just who is the most frustrating in this. Yeah, the IQ game winner had me yelling "woo" like Alex and Table. The Table and Social Fair. Yeah, yeah, man. The only way to celebrate this is to crack a wedge salad and probably make the chill choice, which we will do a little bit later. We're not making the chill choice just yet. We also had a call in this game where Matty D after Mamu's 3, and so by the way, the Raptors had missed again, I think 18 or 19 straight threes. Mamu finally hit the 3, and this was in the third quarter, and Matt Devlin gave one of his more legendary calls. And he's just like, "Oh, Jack, I'm coming. And he just said it like 3 times. I think he had to be referencing something, but without knowing the context of the reference, it just sounds hilarious. So anyway, yeah, that was a great call. If you find Mamu's 3, you'll actually hear the call of it. It was so good, man. Yeah. Yeah, that was really fun, man. That was really fun. Yeah. Sound clip it. Yeah. Okay, Karem, this is what you're gonna do, okay? I'm gonna give you an assignment. You're gonna go on Twitter, you're gonna find an account called Raptor Moments, okay? He's got like a yellow Tyler Hansbrough type of headband, okay, when you see him. Okay, Raptor Moments clipped a play of Matt yelling the call, okay? I want you to just get the audio, because if we play the video, we can't monetize this post game, and I do want to monetize the post game, just career wise. So what I need you to do then is, after you find that audio, I need you to go into our media assets tab on the side, and you'll scroll down. You'll see a whole bunch of like background music drops, right? You're gonna upload, ideally, just like a 10-second clip of just Matt making the call into its own MP3 file, and then you're going to drop it in there, and you're going to upload it into one of these things on the side. You'll see there's a whole bunch of drops. We have like, yeah. So yeah, just make that one of these, because I think I would like to have Matt Devlin say I'm coming on command. That would be pretty fun. Even more money in the chat. This one from Homeboy, who sent us $7. Gritty team effort. Nothing was going their way, but it just kept at it. Love to see it. Yeah, that was, like, that was it, man. That was like so gritty. And like, this is the thing. I'm happy the Raptors push back. I'm not saying the Raptors are like, when the Raptors were playing soft, they were playing soft. But I also see some like tough-minded individuals, man. It's not like they don't have talent. They have some talent too, but like, I think there's a level of like competitiveness that they were kind of failing to that standard in that slow stretch in December. I didn't like to see how they got pushed around in New York. I didn't like to see how they got pushed around by the Charlotte Hornets in particular, by Boston as well. Like I thought that those teams put the fight to the Raptors, and the Raptors didn't accept the challenge, and that's why they got blown out in some of those games. And I liked it today, man. Everyone was up to the challenge. Darko was up for it. The players were up for it. Like, even the bench guys who got a chance to like really play and swing this game, like, they had to make that choice. They had to make the unchilled choice to fight back, man. And that's really beautiful to see. By the way, we do have the game winning pictures as well. Let's get to those as well, man. So first off, here's here's IQ. What's happening here? IQ just on the ground. They can't even find this man a chair. He's just straight up sitting on the ground. He's so tired. Whose hand is this? What is this? Okay, well, there's somebody's coming up to the IQ. I don't know. He's all smiles though, but I don't know why he's on the ground. And then here's another picture of the team just like dumping water and celebrating with IQ again. Like I'm just so happy to see how much the team has like is behind each other. Everyone talks about like maybe like Jamal should start over IQ or whatever. Man, all they want to talk about is how they can support each other, man. Like this is just such healthy team culture right here, celebrating the little game winner with the little water bottles. And then of course we got the little chain as well. The call 5, IQ, good vibes all the way around. Happy for him to hit the 3. RJ obviously being his best buddy, always standing right beside him. Like it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Like this is really it's really what you want to see in all this. So yeah, just a nice team victory. Do we got a team photo? We don't have a team photo from today. No team photo. It's all good. I'm sure there were. Yeah, I don't know. The team photo they should take that on the plane or something, man. Don't even take that. Just get out of Charlotte as quickly as possible, okay? Just get out of the city, man. I hate the fact that we have to play Charlotte so much, man. Yeah, I can't wait for this game's Open Gym episode. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm sure they'll put an Open Gym moment if they do. Oh, there's a picture on Instagram. Okay, hold on. Let's find it on IG. But yeah, like I'm sure that the one works harder than the Open Gym guys. Like it's such a difficult and ultimately very rewarding job that they do. But yeah. Oh, here we go. Team pick during. Kareem, focus on the Matt Devlin call, please. Okay, I got this for us. Got the little team photo for us. Yeah, no, the Open Gym guys, they do an incredible job, and I'm very, I very much just want to see like the actual live reaction of like, all of these guys, and I'm sure because like so typically how it goes is like the person who hits the game winner obviously gets the walk-off interview. That means that they're the last one to arrive in the locker room, which gives them like a small bit of time for the team to sort of plan. So a couple questions I'm curious in terms of like who organized the celebration. And yeah, if I had to guess, I think it was Jamal, honestly. Jamal seems so sweet, man. Jamal's my number one pick for who arranged the team to sort of get together in this. But yes, we have our obligatory post-game photo. Grady, Mobo, Jameson, all doing the flex. Jacoby's always just in his drawers for some reason. Like, does he make sure to take off the jersey and shorts before every one of these photos? A little sad to say no BI in here. I'm sure BI was getting treatment or something. Or is that BI in the back? That might be BI in the back, like just above Jacoby's head. That might be BI actually. I think he's there actually. Ochai with a little call 5. Jakub in the back. Just it's been good to get these photos because it's proof of existence that Jakub is still alive. And like, he's alive and well. Hopefully Jakub, your back is okay. But yeah, it's great to see this, man. And I'm happy for IQ, man. Again, like nobody needed this 3 more than IQ. Nobody really needed this 3 more than IQ. Where's Mamu in this too? Actually. Can't really see Mamu in this photo. Maybe he's just perfectly eclipsed by Grady and his gigantic triceps. But yeah. Did I see Darko when IQ made that shot? Hype as hell. Yeah, I mean, so happy for Darko as well because again, we're not going to show the game footage because I want to monetize this video, but Darko obviously drew up the play for the game winner. It was great to see. So on that perspective, it's great. Obviously, winning the game is first and foremost, and IQ hitting the shot. All of it's just very sweet, but Darko, he's on the sideline and he does his celebration, like he jumps with like 2 feet and then he like puts both fists down, kind of like a Dragon Ball Z character trying to go Super Saiyan, and he just hit that pose and he just yelled for a solid bit there, man. I'm very happy for Darko too. Like this was a hell of a game by Darko as well. Like like I said, he threw out the entire rotations and the playbook, and he just said, let's just find a way to win this game. It's so hard for us. This is literally Boston has played the Raptors better, but nobody else has played the Raptors better than Charlotte all season. This is the hardest game. Nothing was going right, and they found a way to win it. That's got to be so satisfying from a coaching perspective, and I know how much he loves and cares about the team, man. That's beautiful to see. Man, that Mamu driving dish to battle. I mean, Mamu's slick, man. Mamu's like, Mamu's been playing so well, and I guess I'm hoping to interview Mamu eventually. So, I've been doing some more research on Mamu, and I was watching some of his Seton Hall highlights. And like, I don't know, I was expecting to see like all this in Seton Hall, but like Mamu's clearly improved as a player, man. Like he's obviously improved his body, and that's typical. Like you see like guys in college are obviously still scrawny kids, and they grow into like full grown adults. But like even his skill set is improved, man. Like some of the drives and the closeouts and the Euro steps, like I don't know. Mamu was like one of the most skilled, like just in terms of skill at the position, like one of the most skilled bigs we've ever had. And yeah, that was a really nice dish. Question: should the Raptors trade for Diabate? He looks like he's gonna be a problem in a year or two. Brother, I will trade for Moussa Diabate today. Okay, I will not leave Charlotte without surrendering and having the Hornets give us Moussa Diabate. If for nothing else, just to straight up not have to play against him again, man. This guy was the single biggest reason the Raptors lost to the Hornets last time they were in Charlotte. Yes, Khan hit the 3 to go to OT, but it was Diabate's like ability to switch and like rotate and disrupt. I mean, he stripped Scotty Barnes at half court. Like this guy, he's such a problem on the boards, man. Like he's yeah. I know he's probably like not the most skilled player, although he did hit a couple of hook shots and stuff like that. But he's just like, you got to deal with him. You know what I mean? Like he's not a passenger. Like you got to deal with this guy. Yeah, like forget adding AD. Give me Diabate, okay? Give me MD. Give me Moussa Diabate. I don't need Anthony Davis. We also have this one too. And this is kind of on the flip side of the AD stuff, but someone put in this perspective, which I actually don't think is unfair at all. Even though I'm actually a little bit in favor of the Raptors trading for AD, but they offer the counter perspective of trading for AD seems insane to me. This team is developing as a group. The last thing they need is for a superstar you can't rely on. I think it's more for me. It's like the big disruption in the team in terms of like they're young, they're growing, they're going through ups and downs together, but they're staying connected. To disrupt that rhythm by adding like such a significant move, and you don't necessarily know how they'll fit in. Like I'm optimistic they'll fit in. I'm optimistic in general about the Raptors adding pieces, considering how well it went with Brandon. But obviously Brandon's Brandon. Like AD is a whole entirely different person. But and I don't think he's a malcontent either. Like he's like AD's just been like a excellent to like very good player in his whole career. Like and I don't really see any issues with sort of how he plays and operates. The only time he really made a fuss was when he was trying to leave New Orleans. Whatever, like he was clearly not long for that situation. Actually, he got traded for Brandon Ingram, which would be funny to see if they actually became teammates. But, yeah, like that's the part that I'm a little hesitant on. Is like, do I want to disrupt the rhythm of this group? Like, do I want to supplement it by adding like 1 or 2 spare pieces, or do I want to make a significant change? Again, for me, ultimately, talent's talent, right? And AD is like an incredible talent. And I know the availability point comes in. Even that, I don't know. I mean, yes, you could factor in the Raptors like having the very strong medical staff, which I don't even feel like is like outrageous at this point to say, because you see what they've done for Brandon. But even for AD, like his availability isn't that bad. I mean, like he played 76 games 2 years ago. 56, 40, 36. You know what? Never mind. I take that point back. I'm not going to defend AD's health. What am I doing? I was overreaching there. Yeah, obviously it'll be frustrating if he's in and out of the lineup, but that's the situation we currently have right now with Yak. So, yeah. Best RJ game all season. Raptors can miss 19 straight threes and not only keep it close but win the game. I think this is just like affirms how much toughness this whole group has as a whole. There's no question about Ochai not playing well. I'm gonna save it for another game, man. Somebody clearly listened to the last episode we did this afternoon with Alex and Jerome, but cock like the rooster, not the soda. Yeah, we had a confusing moment that turned into a very funny moment in relation to the movie Moneyball, which also apparently was a person who actually played for the Blue Jays back when. So yeah, shouts to Billy Koch. Yeah, I don't know his name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just try not to say his name. Did we find the video of the audio? Karem, do we have it yet? Audio? Oh, he's saying 1 second. Okay, we'll get the Matt Devlin thing in a second. Actually, we'll get to a couple more of your questions. But man, guys, I don't have to tell you, especially in a game like this, basketball can be stressful. Okay, especially against the Charlotte Hornets. Actually, the next time you see the Hornets on the schedule, You gotta make sure you put Coors Light in the fridge. As soon as you see the Charlotte Hornets are on the schedule, okay, a week in advance, you gotta put this in the fridge, okay? But honestly, despite hoops being stressful, your choice of beer does not have to be. Coors Light delivers mountain cold refreshment. There was, I don't know, the entire game against the Hornets where the Raptors just couldn't score and the refs were against them and Raptors were losing guys due to injury and random Hornets role players were stepping up. And I was like, man, I got to chill out, man. I got to make the chill choice, man. And of course, having Coors Light at the Raptors game, that's kind of an iconic, it's a classic combination. You know what I mean? You grab a Coors Light, you sit in your chair, you root for the team, you're having a great time. You know what I mean? And you take a couple pictures. And of course, if you were watching from home, though, you can always make sure you could put the cans in the fridge. And of course, when the cans and the mountains on the can, when they turn blue, that's when the beer is as cold and as refreshing as the Rockies themselves. So when the game heats up, why not make the chill choice? When the Raptors play the Hornets, please make the chill choice and grab yourself a crisp, refreshing Coors Light. Find Coors Light near you. Visit CoorsLightShop.ca. Celebrate responsibly. Must be of legal drinking age. Yeah. I'm going to take a couple more questions. We're not going to leave until we give you this Matt Devlin audio, okay? So we're going to give you that Matt Devlin audio. And here it is, courtesy of intern Karem, who I did just blend with Jerome, so he's Jerem now. But this is the audio. I want to put the audio up a little bit extra. This is Matt Devlin so the context is the Raptors finally hit a 3 after missing 19 in a row. It was a frustrating moment. The all-bench lineup was in. Mamu was the one who hit the 3, and Matt Devlin gave this call.
Oh, my goodness. Coming. Oh, they made a 3.
Let's hear that again.
Coming. Oh, my goodness. Coming. Oh, they made a 3.
Hey, what's the oh, hold on, did I play this out loud on my laptop? Hold on, my bad. Wait, no, I didn't, right? That actually came through. Oh man. Yeah, like, what's the reference? Can people let me know what the reference is, man? Like, please? Like, is this like referencing a film? I think he said something about a film or something. So is this like a famous line that someone said, like they're coming home or something? It's a Samsons and Sons reference. What does that mean? What does that mean? I need more context. Okay.
Coming. Oh, my goodness. Coming. Oh, they made a 3.
So what is this? Samson and Son? I don't know, man. Sanford and Son? Is that what it is? Samson? Are we putting folk in here? Sanford and Son. Okay. This is a TV show that was it's a sitcom from 1972. Matt, come on, dog. There's no way people understood this reference. Yes, it was a 70s show. It might have been huge, but like, dude, referencing a line from the 70s is incredible, man. Shouts to Matt Devlin. And honestly, when Mamu hit that 3, I was also like,
oh my goodness. Coming. They made a 3.
Matt Devlin, welcome to Raptors Moments, man. You've just made yourself into a Raptors moment, bro. That is so, it kills me. Someone put in the chat, I still don't get how it's relevant. Like, yeah, I don't know either. I'm gonna look up this specific moment. I might have to open up a incognito tab to search this exact prompt, but yeah, there you go. So, wrong generation to use that reference. Okay, so the reference here, according to someone in the chat, Red Fox, which I'm assuming is a character here, he would pretend to have a heart attack and say this to his dead wife, I'm coming to join you. Okay, why don't you say the other part, to join you? Just, oh man. That's pretty good. Okay, so this is, okay, all right. Next time I see Matt, I'm just gonna say I'm coming, man. I want to see what his reaction is when we hear that. By the way, apparently the Open Gym Moments episode is out. Open Gym Moments episode is out. Can we also grab that? Yo, Krem's putting up a 30 ball on this one. Yo, Krem, make sure you put your headphones on so that we can throw you up on the chat at the end here, man. Because I feel like you really deserve all the screen time you deserve because you have really been the MVP of this episode. I appreciate you guys. It's an iconic saying. Is that just what people? We live in different societies, man. Other people are just walking around referencing "I'm coming." Like that's kind of incredible. No. Red Fox is the actor. Okay, sick name, man. Elite name. Red Fox is a sick name. Yeah, we'll get to the open gym moments too, but yeah, I mean, this has been really fun. We're gonna hand out some stars, and we'll maybe wrap up with the moment at the end there. Oh, what a game. What a game. We got an iconic 3. We got an iconic call. Anyway, your 3 stars from this performance. First star, you know what? He didn't hit the game winner, but RJ Barrett. Nothing happens without RJ Barrett in this game, man. This was such a gutsy performance. Again, RJ, you got to wait till the fourth quarter to get your tweets off because you never know how this guy's going to bounce back. 16 points on 7 of 10 shooting. In the fourth quarter alone, finishes with a game-high 28 points. Again, in a game that was so frustrating, so difficult to navigate through, RJ was just was insistent. He put his head down. He was stubborn, and that's one of my favorite things about him. It probably makes him more inefficient than he needs to be sometimes, but when you need him, when you're in a fight, RJ is going to be there for you, man. 28.7 rebounds in 35 minutes was a borderline miracle. Every bucket was a miracle in this game. So he performed 12 of those out of 25 attempts. Your second star is going to IQ, who was clearly right there with RJ. Actually hit a bunch of layups to sort of get his game going because he was missing some threes like everyone else at the start of it. Finishes with 21 points, 8 of 18 shooting, including 3 of the 11 from the 3-point line. And of course, the most important shot of the game, with 1.6 seconds left after LaMelo Ball had just, given the Hornets the lead. And granted, IQ kind of bailed himself out because like LaMelo just straight up beat him off a line drive, and there was no help at the rim. Well, there was Mamu, but he came over like not really effective. Ultimately, you would have ideally liked to kept the ball in front, and they couldn't really do it. So it was honestly it was shaping up to be everyone blames IQ again, which is most games I feel like. Yeah, IQ comes out of that timeout, hits the dagger 3 with a screen assist for for Scotty Barnes. Like it was a great just game for him, man. And again, everyone's so happy for him. He gets the chain, he deserves it. And again, like there was lots of moments where he actually was able to like be effective driving and getting downhill. That's the one thing for the IQ is just like I know he's more skilled than what he's shown in terms of like what he had so far. He's obviously had a bit of a down year, but like he has other things in his game, and I think in the last couple of games you've seen him like try to figure out, okay, I'm gonna use pump fakes, I'm gonna hit some turnarounds, try to play off of 2 feet, not just like go up for the floater all the time, but like actually like mix up his game, because like he's been searching for his game, and when a skilled player is able to search for his game, they're gonna ultimately find some answers. And I trust IQ in terms of how he works and how he's operated. So I'm happy for him for this moment. And then your third star, I think you can go a lot of different places with this, but I think you have to go with Sandro Mamukelashvili for the bench scoring. Again, he hit the 3 to make Matt Devlin, wow, I wasn't going to say that, but he hit the 3 to give Matt Devlin the incredible call. And yeah, like Mamu has been a gift to the Raptors all year. When the game got tough, Mamu made a couple plays getting downhill, and again, this just gives me another excuse to say, man, when Mamu hit that.
Oh my goodness, coming! Oh, they made a 3.
There you go. Gerald Henderson Award. I'm gonna give that to so many. This whole team, man. The whole freaking Charlotte Hornets team. The one thing the Raptors, the 2 things the Raptors did really well was really limit Concanipple, and he's been, again, he torched the Raptors 3 times, held the rookie to 4 of 17 shooting. That was huge. And then they also really like limited Miles Bridges, who had like 30 plus when the Raptors played them in Charlotte last time. So that was pretty big as well. Colin Sexton was still an issue. Diabate was still an issue with his rebounding, but I feel like CMB kind of neutralized him in that sense. Actually, CMB should really be the third star, but I'm giving it to Mamu. Yeah, Gerald Henderson. You know what? Let's give it to PJ Hall. PJ Hall was relatively annoying down the stretch, so shouts to PJ Hall, who gets the Gerald Henderson Award. By the way, as promised, we have the open gym moment from the victory. Again, all credits to the open gym staff. They work incredibly hard to bring us this type of storytelling and just chronicling of the Raptors, and especially in these euphoric moments. I'm very happy to see it. So here we go. Here's the open gym moment when Immanuel Quickley was mobbed in the locker room by his teammates. Wait, hold on. Oh, I guess that's the photo of him just on the side there. Oh, that's Shelby. Shelby's offering the hand to help IQ out. Shouts to Shelby.
What you gotta say? Speech. Gotta keep shooting, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Be humble. Trust God. Trust in your work. Trust in your craft. Preparation shows every time, boy. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's beautiful from Scotty, man. Yo, Darko just took the charge on Scotty, man. Of course.
What they gonna say now?
Oh, what they gonna say now? Yo, did he hit? Wait, did he just hit the Jason Tatum? Yo, he just said that to Jason Tatum.
Keep shooting on 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep shooting.
That's right. That's for the whole team, okay? Everyone's got to play confident, man. Dog, this is every time me and Jerome hoop together, I miss the first 2 threes. Jerome yells at me, keep shooting, man. Let's watch the whole thing again. Hold on. Also, this Hornets locker room sucks, man. My God. Shit looks like the hotel washroom, man.
What you gotta say? Speech. Gotta keep shooting, man. Way to be humble. Trust God. Trust in your work. Trust in your craft. Preparation shows every time, boy. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir. Yo, Scotty full on shoved Darko, man. Yo, that's incredible. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, there's some very, very timely censorship there. They didn't capture the full sentence.
Call 5, baby.
Woo!
Keep shooting on 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep shooting.
Hey, and the keep shooting, man, that goes for the whole bench too, man. I know a lot of these guys are struggling this season, but Jacoby, Grady, Ochai, Battle. Actually, Battle's gonna keep shooting, no problem. But it's Colin, like, keep shooting, man. Keep shooting, man. That was beautiful, and honestly, great leadership by Scotty. Yeah, from Ingrid. Yeah, it's nice to see Scotty has bought in and is pumped. Like that's perfect leadership right there, man. That was beautiful. So, all right, we had a euphoric time. I hope you guys leave a like on the way out, leave a review on the chat. We'll be back on Friday when the Raptors play the Boston Celtics. I mean, you thought this was good. If the Raptors beat the Celtics, we're gonna have the same excitement in that one as well. So we'll see about that one. But also look out Friday. We just did an interview with one of the Raptors. It's Elijah Martin. Okay, I know people are like, well, who's it gonna be? It's Elijah, and I know he hasn't played that much for the Raptors just yet. He's mostly played for the Raptors 9-5, but I really believe in sort of like what he's done as a player so far. I believe in his talent, and he's also just a really nice interview. And to be honest, the 9-5 haven't gotten enough coverage. Like they've won again. They went 16-1 in the preseason portion, and then they now are 5-1. Like I feel like they really should get some coverage. So was always looking forward to giving the 905 some love as well. But it actually turned out to be a really fun interview. So look out for that on Friday. Look out for the post-game reaction podcast on Friday. And, of course, we'll be back on Sunday as well when the Raptors play the Sixers. But what a hell of a win, man. I appreciate you guys. And, yeah.
Big win today. Big win. Just wanted to put my voice in.
Oh, hold on. Where's my boy at? Oh, Karem. Yo, guys, W's in the chat for Karem, man. Please. This guy.
Someone wanted a face reveal. I was going on the chat as soon as I could. So
yeah, this guy left his bed.
Got into my nice setup just for this big win today. A lot of work to be done on the pod, but amazing pod. Thank you for
amazing stuff. Thank you for always backing up the play.
Of course,
you've made the React pods like elevate to a higher level. It's been great to get your assistance.
Loving it.
The clips, come on, man. The clips have been killing it. You know what I mean? We're making, like, we gave Malachi Flynn a Turkish name last episode.
Yep.
You know, you're part of that. You know, vote Karem for All-Star. You know, And yeah, great work finding the Matt Devlin clip, man.
Oof, that was a crazy one. I had to go through I went through a bunch of processes for that. I don't know why it wasn't working, but had
It's
to
okay.
even leave we got it done.
One thing I could do is just buy time for you on air. I'll just keep
No, I
talking.
appreciate it. You were buying great time. The chat
find
was
it, bro.
busy, but I was trying to multitask a little bit.
Oh, there we go, bro. Streets are calling you.
Mustafa.
Ali Finza is fire, man. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Look at the young stud. There you go. All right, everyone. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night, and try to calm down a little bit. Watch the game winner a couple more times. Watch the little IQ post game celebration a couple more times, and
Have a wedge salad.
have a wedge salad. Make some chill choices, and wake up and do it all over again, man. That's life. Peace.